Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Pillars of the Earth. This is a point-and-click adventure game following a sort of... It's based off of a historical novel by Ken Follett of the same name. It is set in England shortly after King Henry I of England doesn't have a clear heir, and an anarchy begins upon his death. So we're going to be following this sort of historical journey over a little over a century, I believe, looking into what happens after this event happens. We have... Okay, we'll figure this out later. That's fine. I'm gonna start on easy mode because I have heard the saves are terrible. Like the length of the saves. So we're just gonna cut out some of the potential saves. Also, in my experience, this game can crash randomly, so we're also going to try to not have that happen.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Hello. This is Pillars of the Earth, Elisa. So this is a point-and-click adventure based off of a novel by Ken Follett, which is taking place in this fictional town of Kingsbridge, England, and it's sort of a semi-fictionalized or like historical fiction. That's the term. Novel. Okay, I got a creator character. I did this with Dane, and there were a lot of options. So let's see. We could be human. We could be Omawa. We could be little dwarves whose heads seem disproportionately large. Elves are boring. Orlands could be kind of fun, but I think I want to play a big boy. I want to play someone huge. Maybe Almawa? Are we good? Does everyone just look like a Navi? Okay, I don't know. I think with Dane we played a godlike. I think we played a death godlike. Ooh, oh, is that almost looks like a phallic head? Okay, we're gonna find whoever has the most phallic head, and that's who we're gonna be. Class. Wait, hold on. What is this? Body type. Oh, okay. I forgot we could do this. So we could make a dwarf-sized. Excellent. I approve. We're gonna go. Okay, so we could do really tiny Almawa. I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sure. Or we could do really huge dwarf. What does a really huge dwarf look like? Oh wait, no, the doors have to be short. God damn it! Not all, not all races are allowed to be any height that um, they want. Okay. No, what are we doing? We want moon godlike. We could be big. We could be very, very small. I think I want to be huge. I mean, very, very, very small with a disproportionately large head is also kind of cool. And honestly, this is about everyone that I've dated. I am currently in the casual dating market, and have recently gone on first dates with two different men, and both of them, independently, not on purpose, have this body type. Everyone that I date apparently is Torbjorn, and that's not a problem. I just think it's strange. It's interesting. I mean, honestly, I think it's very endearing, so it probably does, in some ways, happen on purpose. But I don't like put on a profile like must be short, must be tiny, cute little stout man. Yeah, it just kind of ends up happening. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go short, and we're gonna see if we can make it as exaggerated of a dickhead as possible. Um, okay, we got barbarian. Barbarian seems boring. Chanter, or maybe it's French. Maybe it's a singer. Chanter. Um, Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. Ciphers are mind hunters, have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche. That sounds good. Druid is... Okay, druid is a druid. Do you start with an animal, at least? No. Oh, but they can shapeshift into animals. Okay, so that's cool. I don't want a fighter. Monks. Blah, 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 blah. Transcendent suffering. That's just grad school. We got wizard. Wizards also seem kind of boring. Rogues seem kind of boring. Rangers. I am interested in seeing what the potential animal companions are. I'm gonna move forward with a ranger and see what the animal companions are, and if there's nothing cool, we're gonna be the cipher. Oh, come on. I just want to see what the... Okay, here we go. We got a wolf. Are we gonna be able to see the wolf? Nope, they're not gonna load it in. Okay, we got a wolf. We got a stag. Oh, a stag would be a cool-ass animal companion. Oh god, I want a stag. Lions are fine. I also like boars. I almost got trampled to death by a herd of boars once in a mountain on Costa Rica. That was a fun time. I mean, not really almost, but we were in the brush on top of a cliff, and I heard them moving, and they knew I was there, and they were scared, and I was scared. So I just stood still and heard like trampling all around me. So they basically ran around me, a big pack of them. So that was fun. Definitely, if I had moved or something, could have gotten hit. Bears are also cool. Antelopes are also cool. Oh, there's so many. Oh wait, no. Is that it? Why is this bar on the right only in the top of the bar, but there's nothing below this? When one is wounded, they can sense it. Okay. I'm very tempted now by Ranger based on the spread of animals, because if it were just like wolves are such boring Ranger animals. Everyone literally has a wolf. Okay. And ciphers don't have anything. Okay, we're gonna be a ranger. We're gonna be a ranger so that we can name our animal. Designates a single target as prey, giving the ranger and animal companion a damage bonus against that target. As he or she would with fleeing prey, the hunter aims for a spot that will slow the target enemy's progress, hobbling the target and inflicting raw damage over time to it. Marked prey seems a little easier to understand, and I'm not very bright, so let's just go with that. Okay, this is what I'm deciding between. Stags are really cool, antelopes are really cool, and boars are really cool. I'm also like bears are also pretty cool, but I think in terms of when I think of ranger animal companions, I'm bored of wolves. Everyone always has wolves. Lions are a little more interesting than your typical kind of ranger companion, but they're still a little too close to like anything canine or feline. I feel like those are the ranger animals. And then like the second tier of common ranger animals are birds. So I'm really into the stag idea. I'm also really into antelope or maybe boar. So if anyone has opinions, it looks like Zach. You know what, Dane? I just said earlier that he looks like everyone that I've dated. I don't do it on purpose. Apparently, I just like very tiny men. Stag. Okay, Steve is really into the stag. I'm with you on the stag. I'm going to Zach with a K. Speaking of which, I saw him. I saw he was playing Elder Scrolls on Steam the other day, and I was like, "Oh, great, he's alive!" Like, if anyone that I knew would have gotten sick and died during the pandemic, it probably would have been him because of his immune system. So I was like, "Oh, that's nice. He's still alive." No, I already have a name picked out for this. His name is Busan Debussy. Let me look up what the stags look like in Pillars of the Earth. No, I don't want to look at a real picture of a stag, Google. I want to look at a... Okay, I'm into it. I'm into the stags. Now, what do the boars look like? Okay, the boars look like boars. Okay, good to know. Okay, we're gonna go with stags because that was one thing that stood out to me, and also Steve's into it. Ooh, God, animal companion name. Okay, an animal companion to Busan Debussy. So we could go with like juvenile owl with Gilbert's 2 naming, which in the future when I get a cat, I unironically, you can hold me to this, I unironically am naming my cat Juvenile Owl, Nile for short. So I don't know if I want to burn that on this fictional stag. I could also do something that I think pairs well with Busan Debussy. I could also name him Ruther Horse in loving memory of Ruther Horse, who I got murdered by a train, or Ruther Stag, which doesn't really have a pun to it, but. Let me start typing Ruther Horse and see how I feel. Okay, so Ruther Horse, that's kind of nice, but then I feel like this character is not going to have an identity of his own. So I don't know about Ruther Horse. I don't know why the name Sheryl Crow just popped in my head, but I'm kind of into it. I kind of like the idea of the stag being named Sheryl Crow. Is that how she spells her name? Hold on, let me look it up. I just like the idea that in this historical fictional town of Kingsbridge, England, that there's just a stag named Sheryl Crow. Okay, no E at the end. All right. So from what I've heard, stats can't. The stats don't change through level up. So this is actually important for me to use, or for me to make decent. So might represents a character's physical and spiritual strength, brute force. So I do need might. Actually, they helpfully put out. They starred things that I should invest points in. Okay. So dexterity and intellect are the next two that are starred. Is the abstraction of a character's hand-eye coordination. For reactions, it affects action speed with all attacks. Intellect, character's logic and reasoning capabilities. Okay, so we'll do 3 dexterity, 2 intellect. Put 1 point in those, all resolve. Steve, I'm trying to not die. I picked easy mode so that I wouldn't just be streaming me losing this game with terrible load times over and over again. Hold on, I'm gonna go turn my air conditioning off. It is cold in here. Give me a sec. All right, we're back. Okay, culture. So we have a bunch of different cultures we could belong to, so let's go through them. The Adair Empire is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world, Greater Aegir is at its heart and houses the majority of its human and elven nations. Actually, one thing that I've liked about this game since I tested it out with Dane was that the race of character that you pick doesn't lock you into a starting location. I think that's nice. I think a lot of times I'm not going to go on my high fantasy and racialization rant because I already do that for my job. But a lot of times when we see this kind of like high fantasy race sort of setup, it's very biologically determinist, and it's also very like geographically locked, where it's just assumed places are homogenous. Like people don't really travel that much. Everyone can be found in the place where their race is, and you have all of these sort of descendant traits that are linked to it. So I like that in this world, at least, your origin doesn't have to be locked to the race that you pick. Is that you can be a godlike in a place where there aren't very many godlike. That's fine. Deadfire Archipelago, consisting of the nation of Nasatak, dozens of Almoa settlements, and hundreds of lawless, pirate-infested islands that stretch along the southern sea. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarves, Almoa, and a mixed variety of other races. It's the last stop for anyone headed east. Igza Middle Plains, located to the northeast of Glanfath. There are large expanse of fertile savanna is extensively farmed by human and Orland residents. One of the oldest in the world, one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past several thousand years. Old Vilia, once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Vilia is now the crumbled remnants of an empire of warring merchant nations, counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks. The old Vilian countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Rauatai, dominated by the Almoa nation of the Rauatai, the Gulf itself is host to a number of nations, most of them Almoa, Orlan, and Dorvan. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire coast is often pummeled by violent storms. Oh, boo-hoo, too much AC, don't let Laura hear you complain. Yeah, exactly. Boreal dwarves is very scientific. Like, why not wood dwarves? Because, Steve, it's the lore. The Living Lands is the mountainous. I mean, that's true. Laura will get mad at me if I complain about too much AC, but she also won't want to be here when it's 110. The Living Lands is the mountainous region of the large northern island renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable, and its ecosystems vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of blah 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 blah. The white that wends. This is also several of my ex-boyfriends. A large, cracked southern expanse of polar ice, the white that wends is home to pale elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the white, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. Okay, we're gonna go... Maybe Deadfire Archipelago? Oh god, that's a terrible outfit. Never mind. Okay, hold on. Yeah, first let's look at the outfits. This one, basic, like D&D default armor. This one, hideous, quilted, something Blair St. Clair would wear. This one is we got a little bit of armor. We got some nice light reflections. This one's fine. I like that the armor is kind of indented or it curves downwards in the front, so it kind of makes him look like he has some cleavage. This one is very ugly. This looks like a terrible pattern. I know it's supposed to be chainmail or something, but this one's also doable. Is this the same as the one before? It's the same as the one before. I'm just going to look at multiple different outfits and say, oh, this one's great, and it's the same one. This one has a crossbow, though, and this one is a longbow. This is kind of nice. I feel like there's some adornment on it. There's some Horkheimer and Adorno on it. That kind of adds a little bit of character. This is also kind of nice. I like the glowing tattoos. I'm partial to this one or this one. Which one do you think? Living Lands, White That Wins. That's an ugly Christmas sweater. I like the fur. You like the White That Wins? Okay, sure. We'll go with the White That Wins. Background, oh my god, okay. Aristocrat. You have lived your life amongst the nobility. Your days have been marked by lavish meals and extravagant parties. Your conversations peppered with talk of pedigree and bloodlines. I could see Busan Debussy being a baron. Like Baron Busan Debussy. Maybe. Explorer, you find the siren call on the horizon irresistible. Cannot help wonder what lies beyond the next hill or wave. Laborer, your life has been spent in the study of your craft. You trained and prepared, hoping to hone your skills and ply your trade. Mystic, you've never been able to explain how the universe guides your path. Behind every task you undertake is a feeling of cosmic direction. That is tempting. I feel like there is this could very easily be his character arc. The thing with Aristocrat, I feel like it'd be fun to play him like a kind of spoiled silver spoon in his mouth, thinks he's better than this kind of thing. But I don't know how robust the role-playing options are going to be, and it'll be kind of disappointing if I pick it and then he's just kind of a straight aristocrat. Merchant, you've traded goods from all over the world, pairing items. You live for the thrill of the chase. As a hunter and drifter, you never quite fit in no matter where you go. Ichiuchan is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You're more comfortable on the road traveling the world. I could also be a drifter, because what I want to do is I want to make his head look as much like a dick as possible. So maybe he just like doesn't get along with people in towns because they look at him and he's like, this fucking guy has a dick on his forehead. And he has a stag companion named Sheryl Crow. Like, who the fuck is he? So no one really wants to let him settle down. I could get into that. Because I also want to make it so that his portrait does not look like him because he's insecure about the dick on his head, and the portrait is what he wishes he looked like. So I think I'm going to go with Drifter. Colors. This is colors of the armor. Hold on, let me just figure out what each of these colors are. So we'll do something bright so we know. So that's primary. I like how primary is that tiny little trim. I feel like secondary is a larger part of this outfit than the primary. The secondary controls all of the fur. Why is this not the primary? I like these purples, but it kind of blends in with the skin. Actually, maybe we should figure out his appearance first before we... Okay. Ooh, these are all so good! That doesn't look like a dick, though, but it looks very cool. This looks the most like a dick, but is less cool. This also does not look like a dick. This looks like Vikavolt, the Pokemon, who is one of my favorite Pokemon, but yeah, that's not very dick-like. So I guess we're probably stuck with this head. Okay, so that's the skin color is going to remain purple though. That's all we needed to know. Maybe this turquoise kind of complements his skin. We're gonna go with this. We're gonna be real boring, and we'll do like a darker purple. Sure. What should his portrait be? So this is what we're supposed to pick, but we're not gonna pick it. We could be this guy. This is kind of like, this is almost Daniel, sort of. I think we should pick who is like the most conventionally attractive person we could find. Like, who would he open a fashion magazine and then feel dysphoric and wish he looked like him? I like how these three are exactly the same, just different colors. Okay, which one looks like a... I mean, maybe we'll just go with the one that looks like Daniel. I feel like this is a pretty, like, cover of a magazine thing. Although, actually, I don't know if I like the lighting. That one's pretty good. That one kind of almost looks like him. I mean, this one I also feel like is pretty, like, cover of a magazine. I also like this. Like, this guy looks like distinguished. I like his mustache too. Okay, hold on. Which one? We got clean shaven Daniel, or we got with a beard Daniel. With the beard Daniel? I'm also kind of leaning towards with the beard Daniel. Okay, so this is Busan Debussy. So that's what he looks like, and then the portrait is what he wishes he looks like because he is dysphoric of the dick on his forehead, and no one really trusts him or likes him or wants him to be around. So in his head, one day he will look like that if he can find, if he proves his moral character enough.
Hey there.
Now I am the leader of the group. Yeah!
Steady does it.
Sound is only coming out of my left ear again, or my left headset again. That's great.
I've got this.
Death to our enemies!
Let's keep quiet.
Oh?
Watch and learn.
Let's go.
Quietly now.
Yes. I've got this.
You better run!
Let's keep quiet. Just say the word.
I shall lead us.
I'll take a peek. Watch and learn.
Bring them down!
That's too aggressive.
Quietly now.
Maybe.
I'm here. I'm flattered.
Okay, benevolent is a maybe.
Nice and slow.
Huh?
Let's go!
My eyes are peeled.
Ready when you are.
I'll lead the way.
Easy now. I'm here.
Leading the way.
Let us end this! Sharp eyes and keen ears. Yes? I shall lead us. Finish them!
I think I'm leaning towards mystic. It's the most affected.
To whispers and shadows.
I'm disappointed that none of these are Yoda voice. Like, I'm looking for something silly.
Ah! Yes? Keeping quiet.
Okay, I think we're going with mystic. The caravan master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case you'll be dead in a day.
Oh god, that voice is Batu from Ghost in the Shell. Is it really?
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Odima looks over her shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfell, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods in your direction. Sparfell nods and slides the worn bow over her shoulder. Where would I find these berries?
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
What are these ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
He adds with a wink. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Is it dangerous out there?
Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do they get out here?
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. but there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a Beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
What are these huge rocks coming out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I'll go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up on her own time.
He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Odima chuckles and shakes his head. He looks at you and casts a at her.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beowick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Odima's small grin recedes beneath his mustache, and he is stern once more. Oh, we froze. Okay, we're saving. This is why we're on easy mode.
Let's get going before you keel over.
Okay. Oh, look at Sheryl Crow. She's so beautiful. Yeah, come with me, Sheryl Crow. Tapping X lets you interact with people and objects in front of you.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Caravan life doesn't agree with you, does it? You look as raw as that merchant Hodin.
Don't mind, Odima. This is as good a place to camp as any.
It's best not to wander alone, especially so near the ruins. All kinds of beasts in these woods, and then you have the tribes. I don't have that many voices, there's too many of them.
Oh, I suppose you wouldn't know much about the Clanfafans. They're mighty protective. Oh God, as you stop talking, they're mighty protective of something.
Go on then, before it gets too dark.
I've traveled with Odima before, he's never led us astray. I see more and more people on the road these days, looking for safety in towns and cities, it seems. Jame and Thor are going to be feeling this tomorrow. No, we're fine. Everything's fine. Potion of minor regeneration. You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
He looks at his wagon and grins ruefully.
It did not look like that. I'm sure you'll do well.
Oh god, he stopped voice acting. What was his voice? We'll see, I suppose. I'm just trying to do right by my family.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Adir Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be.
God, it's like
still
Cookie
big.
Monster.
The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Rayed Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravanners.
Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Rayed Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
He shrugs. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seemed like a good place to start. And as much as I admire the Riyadh, how did you pronounce it? It was Riyadh Saren's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical.
Seems like you got the short end of the stick.
I don't see it that way. Hayden begins restacking the crates in his wagon. My brothers and I are all working together for the sake of the family enterprise.
I'd better go.
Aw, yeah, Sheryl Crow. I'm so excited. She's so beautiful. Pressing L1 or R1 lets you quickly cycle through your party members. Okay. So right now it's just me. It's just Sheryl Crow! Yeah! This only Sheryl Crow run through. Get fucked, everyone else. Can Sheryl Crow talk to people? No? Sheryl Crow wants to buy merchandise. Hoden Hoden discriminates against Sheryl Crow. Okay, now I'm Kalisha. Okay, so if I want everyone, I L1 and R1 together. Okay. Sheryl Crow stream. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Okay, Sparful is low voice.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Combat entry add in tutorials. Ooh, boy, okay. Pillars of Eternity Combat uses a pausable real-time system. You will often manage more than one character at a time. It's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time to see the orders play out. All characters in the game have 4 primary defenses: Deflection, Fortitude, Reflex, and Will. Together with Accuracy, these determine the chance for an attack to hit or miss. If you are having difficulty hurting an enemy, try switching to a different weapon or attack. Most enemies have 1 or 2 strengths and weaknesses. Sometimes a weapon or spell simply isn't well suited to penetrating an enemy's damage reduction. When the attack hits, the damage reduction will wipe out all but a small percentage of the incoming damage. Take heed, note the damage type that's being blocked, and try a different damage type. You can switch to new weapon sets by selecting the weapon icon in the combat radial menu. In combat, the reticule is used to control your characters. It is brought up automatically. Move it with the left stick and give characters an order by pressing X. Okay. So we are going to... How do we do the radial menu? Oh, okay. What is this? So attack, inventory, stronghold. We don't have any spells. I'm assuming even though it's a sword, if I attack, I'll do a ranged attack. Is what's R2. Okay, R2 is this. Okay, let's test this out. We're gonna mark the prey. Sheryl Crow is gonna beat the shit out of it. Sheryl Crow, maul the fucking man. Destroy him. That's not a man, okay. And then, Kalisha, I don't even know what weapon she has either. She's also gonna attack. Alright, unpause. Okay, so paused. So he is now marked, right? Did you successfully mark him? Okay, yeah. So now he's automatically shooting. Okay. Sheryl Crow, what are you doing? Keep attacking.
Spot on.
Okay. Okay. I think I get it now. So if there's multiple enemies, then we also have to worry about positioning. And if we weren't on easy mode, we'd probably have to be a lot more strategic about not taking damage. Sorry, I'm drinking on stream because I've had such a good time with cold water recently. Cold water is so good. It's fucking delicious. Picking up this wolf hide.
This is it.
Got the springberry. What was her voice? It was sort of low-ish. You're a kind of mystery to the rest of the caravan. Just some kind of wanderer, the way I hear it.
You have to be when people are looking for you.
Yeah? How is it you happen to come here?
I don't know why they're looking for me, and I don't care to find out.
No, but Debussy knows why. People are looking for him because they've seen his phallic head, and they think it's a sign of bad luck. So maybe it's I crossed dangerous people.
I crossed dangerous people. I couldn't stick around. Get it? Stick? Because my forehead?
You do what you can to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Kalisha breathes in her surrounding. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Radric's offer makes a girl think, I'll give him that. You here to settle like the rest of the lot?
No, I'm just passing through.
That's usually the case with the big city just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed?
I'll probably wander for a while.
I couldn't judge you for that. Been half my life. Just watch yourself. You get too far off the beaten path. These lands are wild in more ways than one. Anyway, I'm wasting time here, or Demo will give me an earful. Let's be on our way.
Why are you here?
Kalisha sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Igza Middle, but I'd do anything for her. She's a better woman than me, so I'm here and we'll see. Odima I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me.
Tell me about yourself.
I've got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rawatai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody.
What can you tell me about Deerwood?
I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. Oh my god, this is lost! A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it.
All right, let's get back to camp.
You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like, when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get your water. You know what? Only Cheryl Crow's gonna get water. Lug that water back for us, Ms. Crow. Oh, there's a bridge. Is that a bridge? General radial menu. Pressing or holding L2 opens the general radial menu. Okay, we ready to figure that out. Oh, Kalicia's still talking even though she's not here. What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on. This is recent, not good. Sheryl Crow's not allowed to interact with anything. This game is discriminating against Sheryl Crow. All she wants to do is have some fun. I want to look at this bad sign of water bottles. Kalisha or Lisa? Kalisa. Hey, it's one of Sheryl Crow's relatives. We just saw another deer. She went away. Ooh, what's this? Travelers maybe, or looters or bandits. Bad sign any way you figure it. Leather armor. Hold on. Can we equip stuff? I don't know enough Sheryl Crow songs to keep this joke going. I'm gonna clearly have to start listening to more Sheryl Crow. What is this? Oh, lockpicks? Okay. While I'm speaking about music though, hold on. So Mafia in the Morning, I've come around on it. I do kind of like Mafia in the Morning. It is now on my running playlist. However, there is one line in Mafia in the Morning that every time I hear it, I fucking cannot. I cannot. And it's hurry up, baby, catch me if you can. Haha. I cannot deal with it. It is such a terrible line. It is like Mona Lisa kind of Lisa needs an ice cream man who treats a level of bad. And it's just, for me, it's the timing of the haha. It's because the timing is exactly on the part where you would be saying a word, except instead of saying a word, it's haha, but it's a downward ha, and then it's an upward ha. So it's not even like a natural sounding haha. It's just, and I feel like the syncopation of the line makes it so that every single word gets broken up in the most awkward way that it could possibly be. Hurry up, baby, catch me if you can. Haha. It's just, I can't handle it. It is the worst line in the song, and every time it comes on, I'm like, I regret liking this song now, and I don't know if I can. You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kalisha waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Hold on, what is that? What is that picture? Is that Sheryl Crow? That's not Sheryl Crow. It's just a camera attached to a Loch Ness monster. You've gained an item, full water skin, added to the stash. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there is a strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Kalisha frowns. Sparfle's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh yeah, Sheryl Crow, run a little bit!
Ambush!
Alright, okay. So we are going to mark you. Right? Did it effectively mark? I can't tell. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. Oh, is it because I've already used it? One per encounter. Was that not... Is this not a new encounter? Oh, hold on. It's because I'm looking at multiple people, maybe? No, that's not changing what he's doing. Okay, I guess I don't know what an encounter is yet. Wait, what is... Am I selecting anything? Okay, so that has changed. So now what happens if we do the same thing with marked prey? What is happening? Okay. Okay, we have marked the prey. Okay, this is a different encounter. We just have to be hitting the circle, not the figure. Good to know, I guess. Sheryl Crow, you're gonna go right after this one, after I mark the prey, because the first cut is the deepest. Baby, I know the first cut is the deepest. And when it comes to mauling Glanfadins, he's worst. When it comes to interrupting Glanfadin hunters, he's worst. On second thought, maybe easy mode was a little too easy. You can just watch a bunch of static characters stand still. Maybe we should have done normal. I'm assuming it's going to really pick up in difficulty later. Otherwise, I'm going to have to learn a lot more Sheryl Crow songs to pass the time while we stand in place. Ooh, beer. The footprints around the campfire are indistinct and may have been here for days or longer. Ooh, can I take these mushrooms? Ooh, yeah. Oh, okay, we got more people. All right. And so is Kalisha. While you all are killing him, I'll just drink some water. God, cold water is so good. Bon! All around you, the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Kalisha puts the back of her left hand to her mouth, as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hodin, the last of your caravan left standing. Fuck Hodin, he discriminates against stags. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. We have not trespassed. We merely wish to pass through. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them, they mean to kill us all. You can kill him, but you might as well be killing yourself. The man smiles. No, I think I will just be killing him. Listen, to deal a killing blow, you will have to put your weight behind it, right? The man reluctantly acknowledges your point. Why is he entertaining Debussy's bullshit? Why is he like, yes, student, you're right, I haven't thought about that before. And that student was Albert Einstein.
By the time I arrived at your position, you will be off balance and open to a lethal strike.
These two options are exactly the same. They're not even trying to hide that they're saying the same exact thing. The others will defend me.
No, actually, they're alternately out of position or lacking in the strength and quickness to break my parry. Your death will be assured.
The man growls, frustrated. Then we will save this one for later. He shoves Hoden toward you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade across Hoden's torso. Hoden screams, "Ah!" and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing beginning to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. His axe body spray, because they're spelling it that way for some reason. I know music, I'm also scandalized that he uses axe. Alright, so Cheryl Crow, you're gonna secure Hoden. Let's get Kalisha over here. Hoden, actually, why don't you go help Kalisha? I like how Hoden has a gash in his stomach. He's full health. He's doing fine. Your enemy lies supine, serpine. Supine. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above.
Forgive us!
Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them.
Good, good. The gods are just.
A queer smile crosses his face. Happy Pride, everyone.
I am ready.
The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots, fuck these pots, and rattling tents like an angry spirit. I hate tents! You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, oh God, and where it pierces you, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bowel, Odima's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you. Did this happen, Dane? I feel like Odima was dead.
Get inside! Run!
I feel like he never spoke to us, or did I just forget that he does? Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation and just generally being a loser. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who had been feigning death, lunges for Hoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Hoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. From your position, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Should we fire at the attacker, or just say fuck Hoden? No, fuck Hoden. Hoden discriminated against Cheryl Crow. We're gonna allow Hoden to break free on his own. Wrestling free of the attacker's grip, Hoden lands a blow that sends the assailant reeling, and he makes a mad dash for the ledge upon which you stand. Suddenly, as he reaches for the rock face, his body jerks back and is rigid, as though it were a bow being strung. His shrieks of pain grow panicked, abandoned of all restraint, like someone tethered to a stake and set aflame. A slender wisp of spectral light emerges from his back, rising out of him like smoke before separating itself and disappearing into the ether. All at once, the screams stop, and Hoden is dead. Get fucked, Hoden! This is some great off-brand Lord of the Rings music, yeah. There is a deep resonance to the wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. Hodin has left the party. Hodin didn't deserve to be here.
We should be dead.
Kalisha shakes her
We
head.
can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
A lower level of the ruin has been blocked off by fallen rubble.
We have to be careful in here. Place has been open to the wilds for a couple thousand years. Might be a lot of vermin taking shelter here. 4-legged if we're lucky. 2 if not.
What happened out there?
Kalisha shakes her head. Windstorm, of a kind they only got in Ir Glanfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glanfathan word is, you said it earlier and I forgot how to say it, Beowick? To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls to the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
Who attacked us?
Glanfathans. Those would be the hut dwellers Odima warned about. Looks to be the fangs of Galawain, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Odima, I think he half expected this once we lost the main road.
The Glanfathans said we trespassed in the ruins.
I don't believe that. Odima would never allow that. But as much as the fangs are hotheads, Glanfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or... She glances down the passage beyond. Or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now.
What about everyone else in our caravan?
Kalisha's lips press together and her chin rumples. Her voice is faint. The wheel's got a hold of them now. She looks up. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives.
You don't seem too upset about this.
Kalisha looks you in the eye, a volatile current running beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking. Because there's nothing else to be done, and because there's other people you care about who still need you.
Let's get going!
Someone else has been here. We should move. Ooh, a mace! What are these? It doesn't say. Move how many camping supplies? I want all of them. Small shield. I don't know what else that is. I will remember you. Is that Sheryl Crow? Ba-da-dum-bum. A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zorip. It watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs.
It's okay. I won't hurt you.
The Zorip recoils, fingers still tightly wrapped around the spear. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Raise your arms and stand still. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. Okay, nothing else happens. I don't actually want to fight it, but last time we didn't fight it and we just moved on and we don't know what happens if we do, so I think we're gonna fight it.
I'll tear you to pieces, lizard.
The Zalrip's eyes narrow as it hisses at you. It lunges, raising the spear. I don't even think we need a marker, a hunter's mark. Let's just kill it. Yeah, headbutt it, Sheryl Crow. Ooh, a new bow. Okay, speed, fast, 12, 0.5, 12 to 17. Are these exactly the same bow?
Wait, do you hear that?
Ooh, we got a crossbow. I hate that it doesn't always... Okay, leather armor. This is the same as what we have. A torch. A relief gem. A tattered journal.
Spot on!
Beat him up, Sheryl Crow. Collect his ears, Sheryl Crow. That looks weak. Could be a shortcut. A crack runs along this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through. Use the hammer and chisel to weaken the wall. You set to work. The cracks lengthen and widen with your efforts, but the process is more taxing than you'd expected. Sweat beads your forehead and muscles begin to ache. We're going to try pushing on the wall. Despite the damage, the stone looks heavy and solid. Send Kalisha. Kalisha pushes with all her might, and the crack begins to spread. Finally, the ancient masonry gives way. The wall crashes down, revealing a circular room ahead. Scouting mode. Pressing L3 enables scouting mode. It lets you move stealthily past enemies and discover hidden objects. Shh. Okay, so now we're in scouting mode, where we loudly go, shh, and then Sheryl Crow turns invisible and transparent. Everyone be quiet. We're just gonna scout in front of this creature. Okay, if you get too close, they see you. Fresh air in here. I think we found an exit. Sounds like the storm passed too. Oh, so I think we just avoided the pressure plate trap that Dane and I encountered before. Oh yeah, because we just avoided the pressure plate trap. Hold on. Let's get Kalisha killed. No, I only want Kalisha to die. Trap, cast, fan of flames, trap, cast, fan of flames, unpause. They won't. Wait, is she dead? They won't let me... Okay, she's dead now, right? Oh god, she's healing. No. She is resilient. Oh, there we go. Okay, she's dead. She's dead. Okay, we're good. Can we loot her?
I'd best shed some gear.
If you wanted spoilers, she was gonna die anyway in like 5 seconds, so might as well get her gear. Sheryl Crow interrupted Spiderling. Yeah, Sheryl Crow killed Spear Spiderling. You go, Sheryl Crow.
I'd best shed some gear.
I best shed some gear. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
Hey, it looks like our forehead dick. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then, all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land, and pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor beneath you, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or... At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick gray beard in a ceremonial robe, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried, while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. The question is, where is Sheryl Crow? Sheryl Crow teleported with us. She's also getting up. Busan Debussy, yeah! You awake to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ring in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary, paranoid tick. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Your character is ready to level up. Is it Sheryl Crow? I do want to level up now. Stealth, athletics, lore, mechanics, survival. We have 6 points, okay. I would like some lore. Athletics or survival. I mean, I can make everything 2. Yeah, let's just make everything 2. Oh, we can't? Alright, how do we accept? Quit? No, I don't want to cancel. Oh, next, okay. There we go. I can pick one of these traits. Vicious Companion trains Sheryl Crow in vicious tactics, causing it to deal more damage and penetrate damage reduction with each hit. Sheryl Crow gains an improved damage reduction against all damage types. Sheryl Crow gains improved defenses against charmed, confused, and dominated afflictions. Sheryl Crow does small amounts of sneak attack damage against targets that qualify. Nuanced faith in the gods has allowed this character to unleash a wave of spiritual energy similar to a priest's holy radiance. Okay, so this is a friendly area of effect that increases endurance. I don't think it heals though, which kind of sucks. Apprentice's sneak attack allows Debussy to initiate the brutal opportunistic strikes of a rogue sneak attack, taking advantage of opponents when they're most vulnerable. Debussy has attuned themselves to the natural world like a druid and is able to focus its power on an enemy with the effects of the Nature's Mark spell. With the power of a fledgling cipher, okay, this is all just stealing from other classes. It takes time to contact the victim's psyche. The characters learned a portion of their intense pain tolerance. Channels power similar to barbarians as a hedge wizard. Okay. Okay, so all the ones on the bottom are just stealing from those classes. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh no. Okay, we're not reading all of this. Okay, weapon focus. Warbow, that would be helpful. Crossbow, hunting bow is what we currently have. Marksman, that'd be nice. Okay. New defensive strategies. Fast runner. Damage reduction. Okay, we are gonna go ahead and level up Sheryl Crow. I think maybe what we'll do is we're gonna make Sheryl Crow an absolute monster, and then we don't need to worry about doing anything else ourselves. So we are going to give Sheryl Crow the ability to learn vicious tactics, causing her to deal more damage and penetrate damage reduction with each hit. I do think Sheryl Crow should give me a little bit of space. She's kind of like shoving her face into me. That's fun. I love that for me. Fun whispers, lots of fun whispers. You have gained an item, vessel flesh. Wonderful, stealing the flesh off of bodies. Okay, so we're seeing some people being tortured, that's fun. I guess we can confirm it's not Kalisha then, because I thought it was Kalisha last time, because we see two figures. But even though Kalisha and Hodin died before we even got here, so it can't be them. Okay, we're just going to get to that first town and call it a day. So we're going to get to exactly where we got to last time. Boo-doo, boo-doo, doo-doo, 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 doo-doo,
Just a quick nap.
Come back, villager. Shattered pieces of a crate are strewn across the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. The grass is still flattened beneath the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbage, potatoes, and squash have been abandoned. It's the Avatar The Last Airbender cabbage merchant.
Gods keep you.
This man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up at you as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. "Greetings," he says, a little breathless. "On your way south, is it?" He wipes his brow, turning to face you. "The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think."
"Our caravan was attacked. I've been trying to get to Gilded Vale."
"Hard luck. I'm sorry to hear it. You should be fine from here. There's no missing the Vale if you keep to the road. You haven't far to walk. But you want to keep clear of this place. That we were just attacked north of here, me and a friend of mine. We came out here to hunt some deer. Came up on a bear instead. Great monstrous thing, and Pearly, he didn't make it. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else."
"Where did you find this bear?"
"In a cave a ways up that way." He points to the northwest. "I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life. In any case, the forest already... Oh, he already said that.
Who are you?"
"Name's Nanton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose."
"What happened to your friend?"
We didn't see it coming." "They never saw it coming." Nanton's voice shakes a little as he speaks. "We are following a stag." "Oh, he was following... This is why he died. Because you were trying to hunt Sheryl Crow's cousin. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles and we were tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening." "The beast will take what they will, I suppose," he smiles sadly. and this time Galwain's favor fell upon the bear. Farewell! Let's go get that bear before we leave, since we're ending after we hit the town anyway, and the town's right there. We at least gotta thank the bear for, no, that's not where we want to go. I want to thank the bear for protecting Sheryl Crow's cousin. Maybe the bear doesn't exist? Oh, wait, this is the bear. Let's watch us all get killed. Okay, we're gonna assume this is gonna be a harder fight, so... First, we're gonna mark it. And, Sheryl Crow's gonna use Stag Carnage. Yeah, use Stag Carnage. Oh, wow. Wow, Sheryl Crow destroyed that bear.
I'd welcome some rest.
Sheryl Crow killed young bear, and Sheryl Crow just made short work of that bear. I don't know what...
I'd best shed some gear.
I don't know what that guy was complaining about. Oh, what's taters, eh? A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. You reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you have been struck by a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest, as he leads you deeper into the cavern. Oh, so this is the Plessies memories. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Did my friend... Did he slash me? Did he slash my leg so he could get away from the bear? Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. And there was a great dark shape above you, and then there was more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers. And the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. I met him on the road, your friend. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him and see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. What the fuck? We completely missed that. That's cool.
I'd best shed some gear.
I like how I keep saying that and I refuse to. What's happening to all the things I pick up when I don't have inventory space? Mice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. Just femurs? What do they do with the rest of the bones? Come on, Sheryl Crow. Alright, I guess there's more fighting. I wanted to go pick up that, whatever that was. Oh, we're fighting a door rip? Go kill him, Sheryl Crow. Maul him to death. There you go.
Just a quick nap.
This guy will not stop talking about how
best...
he wants a nap. Why is all of a sudden the camera not following me by default? Shattered pieces of a crate are strewn along the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. Oh, okay, we've already seen this. I guess I'm now manually moving the camera. That didn't used to happen. That section of the song always reminds me of Sun's theme in Lost, or at least I think it's Sun's theme. The bum 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 bum. That theme.
I'd best shed some gear.
How do I read it? Examine, okay. Folded note, my dear Nantan, please be safe. Know that whatever happens, I love you still. Okay, we need to find Nantan. Alright, we're going to Gilded Vale. Enjoy Vale, and then we're gonna call it a day. Well, that's a nice decoration.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
A man approaches you, his skin as dull and gray as the desolate village behind him. He scans you with sunken, lifeless eyes. His voice is a dry croak. He glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of the tree next to him.
I feel at home already.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly toward the deformed tree. You're kind of laying it on a little bit thick here, Urgiot. Like, I think we get it. You're standing by a tree full of hanging people. You don't have to keep looking at it and being like, you know, if things go wrong, this tree. Like, it's already threatening enough.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth.
He folds his arms.
We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radrick's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
I'd like to report a murder.
The magistrate raises a brow.
As is your duty. What has happened? The man called Nanton has killed his friend Pearly out in the wilds. A cruel and cowardly deed, if indeed it occurred at all. What evidence do you have? I had a vision of the victim's final moments. I saw the crime unfold. A vision?
Urgiat sighs.
We do not take such accusations lightly in these parts. Next time you feel inclined to jest about such things, I would suggest that you reflect upon the risks involved.
He looks pointedly at the tree for the 900th time. We got it. You really like this tree. Ah, God damn it. Did I interacted with everything I could, though. There was no other evidence I could find. I don't want to talk to him about the Bioak because, you know, he keeps looking at the tree. Let's just...
You said something about Hollowborn and Waidman's legacy before.
He blinks.
I forgot that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now.
He lowers his voice to a whisper.
Children born without souls.
He shakes his head.
Pitiful dumb things that breathe barely but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease.
Some say they are punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands.
In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War.
And so the name Waidwen's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol.
I see.
Lord Radrick decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart.
Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins.
He regards you carefully. You want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Engwithin ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath have mercy, we certainly have.
I don't think so. Just as he's finished, there is a Beowick.
He polishes his spectacles on his sleeve. If you'd been that close to a Beowick, you wouldn't be standing here.
I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with a Beowick. Is there someone in town who can help?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak.
He points to the body hanging from a tree.
Fortunate. After she failed Lord Radrick, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
It almost feels like they weren't sure if you would get any of the dialogue options where he mentions the tree. So out of desperation, they just make him mention the tree every single possible option.
Keep out of...
Goodbye!
Listen!
She said listen before the bells.
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radrick. I fear Lord Radrick's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Don't threaten me, little man, even though you're taller than me.
He shakes his head unmoved.
It is no threat, only a warning. Lord Radrick will tolerate no threats to his kin, or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers?
I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough.
Farewell!
You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
The other 2 folk men and an elven woman don't look convinced. She spits at his feet.
Everyone calm down. Whatever this is about, I'm sure it's an overreaction.
One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused.
We're humble folk, but we're no fools. Not like he thinks, mocking us while he shelters in our village. We don't take to that kind of talk from foreigners, especially not Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
The second man thrusts his chin at the elf. He stinks of sour ale. Thrusts his chin? How do you thrust your... Like, do you, like, neck backwards, like, jamming your chin at someone?
You're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksmither!
Oh god, this is gonna be a fun voice to try and fail to recreate if he talks more without voice acting.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
A collective cry of outrage rises from the 3 locals.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
He plants his feet. Something surly and raw flickers through his eyes.
That's where you're wrong.
The elven woman draws a blade.
This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner.
They squint at you through red, bleary eyes.
It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him.
Oh, okay, we're fighting? Alright. There's 3 of them, so we're gonna need to be a little more... I don't think Cheryl Crow needs to use her special ability yet. We'll save that for a different one. Oh, wow. They went down very okay, we didn't need to use anything. As the last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
I'm glad I could help.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
I don't have an accent. What are you talking about?
He strengthens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruin.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious. What exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine.
Aloth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. And he has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the gnarled old tree in the center of town. His darting glance takes the tumble-down buildings and the fallow, rock-strewn fields. God, what is his voice? It was sort of like like when he was not himself. It was a somewhat Irish accent, which I cannot do. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere.
You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Just how do you manage to cross these three drugs?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister!
Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help.
I heard the same thing!
For just a moment he looks as if he's about to say something. His expression brightens with mischief, but before he can speak he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you expect to see blood. Finally his face relaxes, and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Yay, we have a new party member. Okay, now we are going to save and quit. If we can save, use save file. Did that do it? Okay, it did it, I think. Yeah. All right. Main menu. All right, so okay, we got to the town. We found out that we can apparently see the souls of dead people. And we have a new party member. Well, thanks for watching. I'll probably try to keep up with this over time. I know that I'm not going to play this game unless I'm forced to, just because it's a bit of an effort. So that's why I'm trying to stream it. But thanks for watching. I'll see you at some point.